Dear children, last day I taught you Regulating Act 1773. Now, Pitt's India Act 1784. Look at the page number 19. William Pitts, the British Prime Minister, introduced now famous bill known as the Pitt's India Bill. First, this act created a board of control to supervise, direct and control the political affairs of the company. Second, it provided for governing council consisting of three directors, which was to replace the code of directors in political and military matters. Third, the political and commercial function of the company were separated. The expenses of board of control were to be borne by company. The council of the Governor General was to consist of 3 members instead of 4. One of them was to be the Commander-in-Chief of India. The Governor General was to be appointed by the director with the approval of the Crown. Pitt's India Act is a landmark in the constitutional history of India. It introduced the system of dual control from England. It helped the unification of India by making the Governor General supreme. The British Parliament claimed supremacy over the company's possession in India. The act lasted till 1858 when the government of India directly passed into the hands of the British Crown. Now, Charter Acts. The English East India Company was given the right to trade with India by Royal Charter issued in 1600. It was renewed every 20 years. The Act of 1786 made Cornwallis the Commander-in-Chief of India Force. He was also given the power to override his council on his own responsibility. In 1793, the company was given a new Charter Act of 1793, which was very long. It repealed many old laws and consolidated the existing ones. However, it did not make any real change. Charter Act of 1830. An influential section of British society comprising of rich businessmen demanded to abolish the monopoly of the company in trade, although stalwarts like Warren Hastings, Malcolm and Monroe defended the monopoly of the company. The Act of 1830 brought about many changes. Main provision of Act 1830. The company was deprived of its monopoly trade with India. The Indian trade was thrown open to all the English people. Second, the company was required to keep its commercial and territorial accounts separately. Third, the company was authorized to make laws, regulations, and articles of war of the Indian troops. The local governments in India were empowered to impose tax and punish the guilty. Fifth, the Act provided for religious learning and education of the Indians. It made special provision of the administration of justice in case where the British and Indians were involved. It provided the appointment of a bishop for religious welfare of the Europeans in India. Now Charter Act 1833. The Charter Act of 1833 brought about a further reduction in the company's power. Its main provisions were: first, it centralized the administration of English Company in India. Governor General of Bengal became the Governor General of India. Bombay, Madras, and Bengal presidencies and other British possessions were placed under the control of the Governor General in Council. Second, President of a board of control became the Minister for Indian Affairs. Third, the Act also brought about the legislative centralization of India, a uniform system of laws for the whole country was brought about. A law member was added to the Executive Council of the Governor General. Fifth, Madras and Bombay were to keep their separate armies under their commander-in-chief. Sixth, the Act provided for the codification of law in India. Charter Act of 1853. This Act further increased the control of British Parliament over the affairs of the company. The main provisions of the Act were as follows. Law member was made a full member of the Executive Council of the Governor General. Consent of Governor General was made essential for all legislative proposals. Second, provinces were allowed to send one representative each to Central Legislative Council. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Calcutta was to be an ex officio member of the Council. Third, a separate governor for the presidency of Bengal was to be appointed. Fourth, the number of the directors was reduced to 18 and 6 were to be nominated by the Crown. Fifth, the Act authorized the Crown to appoint the Law Commission in England. The Act of 1853 marked the beginning of the parliamentary system in India. It reduced the power of the company. The British Crown became the effective ruler of India. Now, administrative setup under the company. The English East India Company was a trading company whose main purpose was to explore more markets so as to earn profit. The Governor General adopted the policy of rapid expansion of the British Empire in India. They tried to stabilize the administrative setup of the company to maintain peace, law and order in the country. Lord Cornwallis founded the administrative setup of the company on a firm footing. Civil service, the army, the police and the judicial organization were the main pillars of the British rule and were directly controlled by the Governor General in Council. Now civil services next day.